What makes you happy?
Doing what I am passionate about makes me happy,
Okay.
which is art.
Dogs. Really like puppies. Ben makes me happy. Friends make me happy.
Let's see. My boyfriend makes me happy. That's gross to say though. I like making things with my hands a lot. I like
Theater. Theaters.
Having the drive to work on things and like coming up with ideas and being able to execute them makes me all excited because I'm like, I'm being productive.
Ooh, my family makes me happy too. And dogs. Dogs make me really happy. Especially big fluffy dogs. And succulents. Little plants. Cactuses. I like those.
How does art influence your personal happiness?
Definitely it's an outlet for things so that I could just get stuff off of my mind, or I could just be in the zone of art, which is really cool when you get there.
Sometimes I kind of think that art is my personal happiness. It's like it's just like you get a criticism that like really throws you off your work, and you're just like, boom, you're almost kind of done for a day. Just art is, art is extremely tied in to how I feel and what I feel.
Well, it kind of gives me a vein to express either my happiness or my unhappiness, and especially I get very stressed very, very easily. So if I make art while I'm stressed, it helps me relieve some of that and brings me back to happiness.
And as an artist, what role do you think happiness plays in your art personally?
Happiness is a really good tool to inspire. It works. It works very well when you paint. It works very well for me when I write. Theater's kind of weird with emotions and how it inspires you, because you can't base your work off of one piece of emotion. You have to, like, everything's dependent on each other. You can't be a good actor if the only emotion that you bring to the table is happiness. Like, in that same perspective, you can't be a good actor without that happiness.
I would say definitely things that make me happy go into my artwork. No, even if it's like a small detail of it, there's always going to be things like people I like my friends, there might be a small part of them in there. I feel like, at least for me personally, art is really tied into my happiness because it's a form of self-expression that I can't express other ways. And expression has always been really important to me. And like, I came from a household where my parents didn't really listen to what I have to say, but if I made a piece of artwork, I couldn't necessarily force them to look at it, but I could force someone somewhere to look at it, and then people would be seeing what I've put out there, and I would be able to, not necessarily make myself happy, but make me feel more heard, which contributed a lot to my overall happiness, I think.
It's art. Doing my art is what makes me the happiest, but it's also what stresses me out the most. But I always go into a project thinking about, just wait until you see the finished project. That's going to make all this worth it.
As an artist, what role do you think happiness plays or should play in art in general?
In art in general, I think art is such a great way to describe your feelings to other people who obviously can't feel them or know what they are. So I think art is a good way to take what you're feeling and take your happiness and show it to other people. Be like, this is how I am happy. I hope it makes you happy as well.
Happiness is integral to art, no matter which way you look at it, just in different ways.
I think art is just kind of a way, I don't know if it's necessarily, it's a way for me to communicate my emotions, and it's like a way to, what's the word I'm thinking of? Way to, like, let them come out and, like, put them towards something useful. So it's kind of more of a healthy way to deal with, like, anger, stress, sadness, which just makes me feel happier overall.
Great. And how do you think art should influence people's happiness?
I think art should definitely make you feel something, and if that's happiness, that's super cool. That's a really good way to use art, is to make other people happy. But it can also be not that. It can make you sad sometimes.
Okay.
Art should point out flaws in society and make people reevaluate their lives. So I guess art should have some sort of satisfaction to either the viewer or the people who made it. Probably more the people who made it than the viewer.
Art's one of those things that's like right on the border between science and magic, because on one hand there's these colors specifically trigger these impulses in the brain that cause you to release endorphins that feel this, but on the other hand it's like art is something that no matter what language you speak, no matter who you are, what, you can look at a piece of art and it can touch you emotionally. A painting can make you cry. A poem can make you laugh. No matter what language you speak, art is universal, and I think art kind of unifies the world.
How is a yardstick and a king similar? They're both rulers.